my name is Theresa. I am the owner of a small business called Seasons Best by Resa. If you're new here, welcome, and if not, welcome back. Besties, as the title states, today I am super excited because the brand LOKLik, they reached out to me and offered to send me their brand new LOKLik iEngraver machine. Now, in case you guys have never heard of an engraver before, the LOKLik iEngrave is a full-featured and efficient laser engraver. It allows you to cut out personal photos in just a few minutes. It's super fast, it's quiet, and it's affordable. I received the LOKLik iEngrave, I want to say about 3 weeks ago, and since then, bestie, I've had the chance to assemble the machine myself, play around with it, get it to work, just to see the inner workings of the machine. I've been having such an amazing time with it. I especially love the fact that it was so easy for me to put it together all by myself. I also love the fact that it was super easy for me to figure it out. So the LOKLik iEngrave works with the LOKLik app. And you guys, the hardest part about getting the iEngrave to connect to the actual app was just that, getting it to connect. When I was able to get it to connect, everything else was completely seamless. I had no issues. I fully expected to take a day or a couple of days to try to figure out how to work this machine, and I had absolutely no issues. I think I figured it out in about 20 minutes, if that. It was super easy and super fun for me, and that's not something that happens a lot. Most of my machines that I often have to spend a lot of time learning or going on the internet and researching. And this LOKLik iEngrave is very new, so I literally had nowhere to go to research, and I didn't even have to do that because the app was so friendly, so user-friendly, so easy to navigate. Everything about this entire process was seamless for me. And besties, I will say I was pleasantly surprised with the size of the iEngrave. I don't know why. For some reason, I expected it to be this little tiny box where I would mostly be able to engrave jewelry or necklaces or like a little ring or something of the sort. But you guys, I was very pleasantly surprised with how big it was. To me, it just opens up a world of possibilities with items that I can engrave, especially for myself personally or even for my business as we continue to grow. So just to take you guys through the entire process, the engraver was delivered 3 weeks ago. I believe it was delivered by UPS. Again, you guys, I was surprised by the size. I was worried about how I was going to get it up the stairs. But another surprise, it was very light, you guys. I'm trying to think of something that I can compare it to, but I have like, my heat press. I have my heat press, and it is a lot lighter than my heat press. My heat press, it's very hard for me to lift it and move it around my little office, but the actual LOKLik iEngraver, despite the size, it was very light. It is very light. I move it around all the time because it is large, so I usually have to keep it in storage and then move it back to use it, and it's super light for me. It was super easy for me to get up the stairs. So if you are a single female like myself, or if you're worried about not having help with it, again, very easy to move, get upstairs. If you live upstairs, it is super light, and that is something that was really important to me because, again, I live by myself and I have all this machinery, and I wanted to be able to move it from one area to the next without having any issues. Now, if you guys are new here, you guys might not know, I have the worst anxiety when it comes to starting or learning new machinery. I always feel like it's gonna be so hard for me to learn. And for example, my embroidery machine, that took me a while to learn, and I'm still learning it months later. But I was pleasantly surprised again about the LOKLik iEngraver. I believe it took me about 2.5 hours to put it together by myself. And again, they did send me, LOKLik did send me like a video tutorial, a walkthrough of how to do it. And I was able to put it together with just the walkthrough. I will say it is a lot of screws, so that's kind of what took me some time, and then making sure that everything was put up together. And then I did have to take some parts of it apart to and put it back together, but that was me. I didn't remove the plastic. That was like completely my fault. I thought I could remove the plastic afterwards, but the way how the screws were aligned, you had to like take the plastic off first and then put it together. But even having to take it apart and put it back together was super easy. So again, like I was really surprised at how easy it was for me to put it together by myself with no help. And again, I've never ever had like an engraver before, so that whole process for me was very easy. Okay besties, so this is the new LOKLik engraver, and y'all, I have it on my floor because it is huge, but I just know that most of it is padding because I know LOKLik, they always like to secure their products. So I have my little box opener right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and open it up and show you guys what's inside. Okay, so it did come with the padding on top. So as usual, they did send their little LOKLik envelope. Let's see what's inside. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and it just says a LOKLik. Hopefully y'all can see. Okay, so this is the warranty. They sent the warranty right here. I'm not sure what this is. This looks like a little welcome card or like a thank you card. This looks like this. And then this just tells you everything that is included in the box. It looks like this. Okay, so they also gave us some like QR codes with instructions on maintenance, and let's say it says maintenance and instructions, and it also gives us a QR code to join their community on Discord, and this one you can explore a vast collection of free premium designs. So that's really cool that they give us free designs as well that we could engrave with this machine. Okay besties, so over here I have the two top panels right here. This is one, this is two, and I believe, yeah, this is one and two. And then this is the front panel right here, like this. Ooh, that's nice. I did not see that. Do y'all see this? This is like metal. That's nice. I like that. Okay, so it says right here we have the U-shaped connector bar. So let me take this out. Okay, so that's one connector bar, and then this is the other one. This is how they look. Okay guys, next I believe this is the right panel over here. This looks like this. Oh well, this is the left panel. This is the back panel. See if I can get this out. I don't want to break it. This is the right panel. I really like how it's labeled, you guys. It tells you right side panel, and it goes up like this one, and it says this side is outward. I really like how it's labeled like that. Y'all, this thing is padded really well. Like, it is really secure. Like, I really like that. Like, you do not have to worry about your package getting damaged or anything like that. So that's nice. Okay, so let me just start with this. Okay, I think this is like the laser module. Let's see. I think this is like the laser module, you guys. And then I believe they gave us some like goggles. That's nice. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. It's green. Hopefully y'all can see that. And what is this? Oh wow, this looks like a USB cord. I think that's what that is. Okay. It's so much stuff in here, you guys. I don't know. This says angel bracket, so I'm assuming this says handle. I think these are like some screws and such to help put everything together. This looks like some like LCD lights. I should say LED lights, you guys. It says leg extensions on these. And I'm not sure what this is. I definitely have to open this up and explore some more, but this is what this looks like. And then this, we have a leg extension, and then more leg extensions. So what's that? Okay, this looks like the power adapter. And some more. What does this say? This says a fan and light bar power adapter. So this is for the fan and light bar, and then this is for the actual engraver, I'm assuming. And oh, I'm not sure what this is. Another adapter. And this, you guys, looks like the fan exhaust Oh wow, y'all, I just want to point out all of these, they're really heavy and like very high quality. Like this is crazy. Like I don't know if you guys could tell, like this is so cool. Like and it feels so nice. It feels like rubber. I thought it was gonna be like more of a mesh, but this is how it looks. Okay, besties, I think this is like the last foam piece. This is the Laser Engraver. This is how she looks. It's so sturdy and so pretty. Wow. I actually thought it was gonna be a lot smaller than this. I thought like it was gonna be like a ton of padding, but this is a decent size. I'm super excited because that means I can engrave like larger projects. Hopefully I can engrave like, I don't know, like my Stanley tumbler, who knows. But I really like this. Like this is a good size. I don't know why I thought it was gonna be extremely small. Besties, I don't know how to explain it. It seems like it's a lot of parts to put together, but at the same time it seems like it's not that many parts, because I feel like once I get like the panels on there, everything else will be like super easy. I don't know, it kind of seems a little overwhelming, but not overwhelming at the same time, because for a laser engraver, like this seems like it's a lot simpler than it should be. But I don't know, we're gonna see. So the good thing about LOKLik is they did provide me with a video on how to set everything up and get everything together and working. So I'm gonna go ahead and review the video footage and just see if I can get this thing put together, y'all. So I couldn't figure out like why the bottom part of the engraver was just like coming off, but I figured it was like part of the setup process, but it wasn't. So these screws, there were like 4 of them that were still in the box that it came in. So if you are gonna be setting this up yourself at home, I would say double check the box before you toss it to see if these screws are in there, because it's supposed to come in there already. But with travel, they might get loosened up and fall out. So just double check the box. But it's pretty sturdy. It looks really good. So I'm going to continue setting it up. about, I want to say 2 hours. I think I started, I think 2.5 hours. Right now it's almost 4 o'clock. I did take a break and go downstairs, but this is how she is looking. It looks really good. I am missing the screw. I need to put this screw in, but I think that's the only thing. And yeah, you guys, it looks really nice. Once I had the machine put together and made sure that everything was how it was supposed to be, I shifted my thoughts. I started to think about what I wanted to engrave. You guys, I was so excited. I wanted to engrave something, but I wanted it to be personal to me and something that I could have on a daily basis. So I figured I needed a new cutting board. So my mom and I, we went and we picked out a cutting board, and I also wanted to test out like the thickness level. I wanted to see if the engraver could engrave. I would assume it can engrave like really thin items, but I wanted to see how it did with thicker items like a cutting board. So that's what I decided to start off with as my first ever engraving project. Okay, besties, so it is Saturday, May 31st, and I'm about to leave out to go to Hobby Lobby because I need to get, well, the goal is to get like a cutting board because I want to test out my LOKLik engraver and I want to try engraving something on it. So I'm going to see what I can find in Hobby Lobby and I'll take you guys along. You guys, I don't know why, but I was extremely nervous. Like, I set aside like half a day just to play around with the machine. I had it in my head that it was gonna be so hard, I was gonna have to learn how to work it. And y'all, when I say I was wrong, I was so wrong. It took me about 20 minutes to figure that machine out. I want to say the hardest part about that machine was connecting it, because you have to connect it via Wi-Fi, not Bluetooth. So that was the hardest part for me. But once I got the actual engraver to connect to the LOKLik app on my phone, it was smooth sailing from there. I think I figured it out in about 15 minutes. The hardest part was figuring out how to position my cutting board in the right area and how to get the design center. That was literally the hardest part. And the actual app and actually using the machine, super easy. I had absolutely no issues with it. And I do want to point out that the actual engraver, it does have an emergency stop button, because you guys, I had to use the emergency stop button while I was testing out or engraving my cutting board. I thought for whatever reason that because my cutting board was so thick that I would need to go over my cutting board twice, and actually I only needed to go over it once. I did not need to go over it a second time. So I wanted to stop that whole process, and I ended up having to use like the emergency stop button, and it worked perfectly. I also appreciated the fact that the engraver came with the covering. So I'm nervous. Like, I was using laser for the first time, never worked with laser before, so I was super nervous about using it in my house. I have a son. I didn't want anything to go wrong, but I definitely felt safe and protected with the covering. And it does come with like the exhaust tube and everything that I put outside the window so that my house wasn't smoking up. So I really appreciate like how safe the machine was, the emergency stop, just how well put together the actual engraver was. I want to say I started off scared, and by the end of it I was like, what was I worried about? Okay, besties, as you guys can see, I literally have my LOKLik engraver all set up, so I'm gonna test it out. So they did send like these little boards in the packaging, so I'm gonna test it out with these, and I'm gonna see if I can figure this out. They also sent like this little glasses thing. So what I am gonna do is I'm going to go into my LOKLik app, and that is what you use on the iEngraver. I don't know if y'all could see. It just looks like this. But I'm going to go into my LOKLik app, and I'm going to try to play around with it and see if I can get it to work. And then I will be back to show you guys how it works and everything from start to finish. But I do have some items that I want to engrave, so hopefully I can get this figured out today and I don't have to like wait to show you guys or wait to engrave these items. So I don't know, we'll just have to see. Okay, besties, so I am connecting the engraver to my phone. I guess I have to connect it by Wi-Fi, so I'm in the process of doing that. Once that's done, I can get started on a design. Okay, so hopefully y'all can see. Can y'all see? It says like LOKLik. Hopefully y'all can see that, but I'm all connected now. Okay, besties, so it turns out that the engraver needs a SD card. I did not know that, but I just went to Walmart really quickly and grabbed one. So I'm gonna go ahead and set it up and test it out and then see if I can get it to work. So first time laser engraving something. Let's see how it goes. Y'all, it is working. Oh my gosh, it's moving so fast. Wow, okay you guys, so I don't think y'all caught that, but it's finished. Oh my gosh, I'm super excited. Let's see how it looks. I think I'm good to open it. I don't even know, you guys. So all I did was like a little LOKLik. Okay, it did a little something. Can y'all see? Oh my gosh, it looks really good. Like I wish I could get it darker though. I'm gonna try and see if I can get it darker. I'm gonna play around with the settings and then I'll be back. Okay guys, I can already tell it looks a lot darker. I didn't change the settings much. Oh wow, I smell that. I didn't change the settings much, but I did do like twice instead of once. That's how it looks. Oh my gosh, it looks really good. Like I'm super happy. I think I'm gonna go ahead and test it out like on the other side. But yeah, I'm super excited, you guys. Okay, that was pretty easy. Okay, I'm gonna do another design on the back and then I will be back to show you guys that other design, and then I'll do a walkthrough really quickly of like what I did pretty much. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, so I just did another design like on the back of that same like cardboard. So this is the two that I did earlier, and then I just did this one. It looks so nice. Oh my gosh, like this is how it looks. Yay, this came out really nice, and this is like my first try, so like I'm super happy, like really happy. Okay, so besties, I'm gonna just give you guys a quick like walkthrough of what I did. I'm just gonna show you guys like how easy this was. I did not expect it to be this easy. Literally the hardest part was connecting it, but it gives you like these step-by-step instructions on how to connect the actual engraver to your phone. So that was literally the hardest part. But then the LOKLik app, it does have like all of these designs in there you could choose from. And as you see, this is the love you one, the heart love you one that I just did. And I literally just went through and chose a design. So I really like these candy party ones. I'm gonna choose this. And then it just gives you some information about it, the author, the published date and such. And then I'm gonna hit like go design at the bottom, and then it just brings you to like the LOKLik mat that we all know. And you could just move this. I'm gonna delete this. So this is the heart one that I just did, so I'm gonna delete that one. And then you could actually move like the candy party around to the center, and the mat on the phone is like the entire LOKLik engraver. So you could just move it wherever you want to place like the actual cardboard or whatever it is that you're engraving. You can move this to reflect that on the mat. And you can zoom in and zoom out. So I'm actually gonna put this in the center right here, and I'll show you where that is, where I'm gonna put the cardboard in a second. But then once you've centered it, you just go ahead and at the top it says make. Hope you guys can see. It says make. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do, so let me actually go back. So when you're here, you can, you know, resize it to however big you want to make the design or however small. I'm just gonna make it pretty small because the cardboards, they're like not that big. And I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna hit make, and then I'm gonna do next. And I just want you to see, I'm gonna do next. And when I do hit next, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do so it has a button right here that says stroke, and this is pretty much going to tell the engraver to outline where it's going to engrave, and that way I can go ahead and know like how to position the engraver. So I'm just going to show you really quickly. Okay, so I positioned you guys. So this is the actual laser that does the engraving, and I have like one of the boards that LOKLik, you know, gave me. So I'm gonna put this in the center because I'm just assuming that that's, you know, the center and that's where the design is. And on my phone, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hit the stroke, and I hope you guys can see, but right here I'm gonna hit the stroke, and then the actual laser is going to move to where the design is on the mat, if that makes sense. I'm gonna do stroke, and you see. Okay, so just to give you guys like a better view, so I'm gonna do that again, and I'm gonna stroke, and it's showing me where it's actually gonna cut. Now the issue with that is that's not where the board is. So I could do one of two things. I could like move the board forward like to where it's going to cut, which, you know, that's I guess the easiest one, or I can actually manipulate the position of the design by going back, and me moving the design back on my phone is gonna move the laser back and forward like that. So that's to the right, and then that's to the front, and I can also move it to the left. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hit stroke again. I'm gonna see where the laser is going to cut. Okay, so it's still a little bit off, so I'm gonna move the design itself back. I can move like the cord board forward, but I'm gonna move the design back a few, and I'm gonna try it again. Okay, so that's literally exactly, but I still want to move it back some more. So I'm gonna move the design back, and it's gonna move the laser back as well, doing that. And then let's do stroke. Okay, and there you have it. So literally perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to close this down, you guys, so you won't be able to see. But actually, let me go ahead and do add to task, and it's gonna ask me to name it. So I'm gonna go ahead and name it candy, you know, and then done. And then it's added it to like my task list. So this is everything that I've cut out. I cut out the 2 LOKLik for you guys, the heart, and then here's the candy party. And I'm gonna close this down and I'm gonna hit start, and that's how it's going to literally engrave the cord board. Okay, so I actually went all the way back, you guys, to like the initial part where I put the design on the mat, because I do want to show you guys that you can change a lot of information about the actual design. Oh, don't mind that. So you can change if you want to do engraving or if you want to do cutting. You can change the material. So if I do custom material, I could put solid wood, or if I do click on that, I could do slate stone, acrylic, leather. So you could literally change it to whatever material it is that you want. You could also do cardstock, denim fabric. Ooh, denim fabric, that's interesting. You can do bamboo, you can do ceramic. It's pretty neat. So let's see what happens if I do denim fabric. So if you do denim fabric, it tells you like the recommended power, and it says the recommended power is 60%. And let me see, if I go back to solid wood, it says 75%, which that is what it was on initially. And then if I go to cardstock, let's see, it went down to 50%. So you can do that. And then you could also change the speed right here, and then you could change the amount of times that you engraved. So when I first did the first LOKLik, I did the engraving 1 time, and then when I did the second LOKLik, I did the engraving twice. So you can change all of this up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it back on solid wood, and then I'm gonna leave it at 75, and I am gonna change the engraving times to 2, and I'm gonna go ahead and do next, and then it's positioned correctly, but I'm gonna do stroke just to make sure, and it's perfect. I'm gonna do add to task, and I'm gonna name it again. I'm gonna name it Candy 2 this time, and then done. And there it is. And I'm gonna delete these ones because I don't need these. Perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and engrave the candy party and see how it comes out. Besties, like, I'm not gonna lie, I am super impressed with this engraver. Like, it is so fast, and the attention to detail, can y'all see that? Candy party, this is so cute, y'all. I really love this. Like, this is really cute. This is nice. Like, y'all, I am really impressed with this speed. I'm really impressed with like how well it does, and it was so easy. I don't know why, y'all. The hardest part was putting it together, and yeah, that's literally the hardest part, putting the actual machine together. But I just thought that figuring out the engraving would be so hard. It was so easy. The app was so easy. Like, literally, I am enjoying this a lot. And you guys, I want to test something out. So I did go to Hobby Lobby and I purchased a cutting board, because we do need a new cutting board in the house anyways. But I want to see if I can engrave this. I just have to like come up with like a design. I think I'm just gonna put like bless this house or something, or like bless this mess. I don't know, something like cute. But I'm gonna come up with a design, and I'm going to try to engrave this. I feel like I'm gonna have to like put the engraving what is it, the force, or like 90% and like do it like 3 times, but I'm gonna try to engrave this and see how it comes out. So it's pretty big. Do y'all see the entire cutting board is fitting in here? And I think I'm gonna put like the design like right here at the bottom. I don't know, I'm trying to see how to position it. Yeah, I'm gonna position it like this. And another thing that I want to show you guys with the LOKLik, like you can actually raise the laser. I hope y'all can see, it's kind of dark. Let me see. Okay, so that's better, but you can actually like raise the laser. So right now the laser is pretty low, so I just loosened it and I'm gonna move it up and then just tighten it. So yeah, and then my cutting board is right here, my laser is here. I'm gonna go ahead and figure out a design and see if I can figure out how to engrave this, you guys. I can already tell it looks so cute, y'all. I had to like do like an emergency stop, which by the way works perfectly. Like the emergency stop, like you just push this in. As y'all can see, I push it in because I saw that it was going over it twice, as that's what I put for it to go over it twice, but it didn't even need to do that. Do y'all see this? Lord bless this house, y'all. That looks so good. Like it was about to go over it the second time and I didn't need that because it already looks so good. I mean, I could have had it go over it because the cutting board is thick enough, but I literally did not need to. This looks amazing. Oh my gosh, you guys, it looks so good. So this is how it looks. What? Yeah, if I had like some gold filling, like I'm so scared to touch it, but if I had some like gold filling, like this would look good like in gold. Let me see. Okay, and it's in there, like you can feel like that it's like deep in there. Like it definitely did a really good job. And if I had went over it like a second time, it would have been even deeper, but I did not. I do want to clean this up though. Like I don't know, do y'all know, like if I had like some gold filling to like put over it, I don't know, some gold paint or something, this would look really nice. But this is the finished product. Like I'm super happy, y'all, and this is my first time ever using an engraver. This was like super easy. It was a really easy process. I didn't really have any problems. Again, the hardest part for me was figuring out how to put the actual engraver together. But using the software, the LOKLik app, everything was almost seamless. So I do have the cutting board right here and it says, Lord bless this house. So just so you guys can see, it is pretty thick and I do like you can totally make out exactly what it says. And I was wondering what I was gonna put on here, but I have a mat outside my door, a welcome mat, and it says, Lord bless this house. So I figured why not go ahead and put this on our cutting board as well. So as you guys can see, it looks really well. I had so much fun making this and it was super cute. And again, you guys, so easy to use. Like I've never used an engraver. You guys have been watching my channel for this past year and a half and I've never used an engraver, and I was able to make this on my own without any assistance. That is literally how seamless the machine was. So I'm trying to think back if I had any issues, but once my actual engraver and the LOKLik app was connected, it was super easy to use. Overall, besties, if you have been thinking about getting an engraver, if this is something you've been looking into, I highly recommend the LOKLik iEngrave. Y'all, for me, it was very easy to use. It was easy to assemble. I love how safe it was. I just love the fact that I was able to figure this out and figure it out so quick. And the speed, it was able to engrave this thick cutting board, you guys. This thick cutting board, I want to say in 1 to 2 minutes. It was super fast. So if this is something that you've been interested in, if you're interested in engraving items for your business, I would definitely say to go ahead and check out LOKLik's iEngraver. I will be linking it down in the description for you guys so that you guys can go read up on it, see if it's something that you guys like, compare it to other machines. For me, this is my only engraver that I've ever had, but for me, I haven't had any issues with it, and it's definitely more on the affordable side compared to other prices that I've seen for engravers. And another thing about this, I feel like if it's your first time engraving and you don't know if this is something that you want to do long term, this is definitely a good like beginner friendly first step engraver for you to test out and get comfortable with using, and then you could decide if maybe you want to upgrade to something bigger or something just, you know, a little bit more commercial instead instead. And besties, I'm really happy to announce, if you are interested in purchasing a LOKLik iEngrave, they also reached out to me and they gave me a $20 off discount code for you guys. Yes, $20 off, so y'all can save a little extra coin. I will have the code on the screen. It is going to be iEng20, and I will also have the link to the LOKLik engraver again down in the description box with the code for $20 off your first purchase of a LOKLik iEngrave. The code will be valid, I believe, from June 10th to July 7th, you guys. I'll also have that on the screen, 6/10 to July 7th. So you guys can go ahead, check out the engrave, see if it's something that you guys want to try out. And if it is, save $20 by using my code. Okay, besties, that is it for this video. I want to go ahead and give a huge thank you to LOKLik for reaching out to me and sending me this iEngrave machine. I'm super excited. I literally cannot wait to see what I'll be able to engrave and bring to my small business. So stay tuned, you guys, for more crafts and for more engraving from me. But y'all, you know the drill. Please, 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 please do not forget to give this video a huge thumbs up. Comment something nice down below in the comments. And besties, if you are not already subscribed, well, for one, you're not my bestie if you're not subscribed, but please do not forget to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace out. Bye.